Welcome to Ask Hypnotica 63. Today we have a letter from a guy named Fotis, and he said, I heard about you from a copywriting marketing consultant named, I will leave the name out. Funny thing is, he didn't say follow Eric because he's a kick-ass dating coach. I don't ever want to be known as a dating coach. I am a men's lifestyle specialist. Sounds good, right? Not better than dating coach, right? Don't date anyways, right? He said, nope. He referenced you in a post where he revealed ways any guy can understand the human mind to the deepest levels. You were among guys like Tony Robbins, Napoleon Hill, Jim Rohn, and I got intrigued. I appreciate that. Those are idols of mine that I've studied over the years, and I have a little bit more freedom than them because they can't really talk about blue balls and vaginal itch and STDs and things that just are real things that guys need to talk about to understand to get the birds and the bees up to skill. All right. So I appreciate it. So he joined my list and he said, be honest, the only problem with women I have is cold approaching. Nervousness, increased heartbeat, dry mouth, no idea what to say, the whole enchilada. If he's talking with them on the internet or after he's been introduced, he can do pretty well, even have a couple one-night stands, most of the time, he says. So I'm really waiting to see what the approach any woman, anytime, any place blueprint is going to do with me, him. Thanks for taking the time to read this, Fotis. Okay, let's talk about this because this is a big issue that a lot of guys have. They're terrified of the cold approach. And you know what? You should be at first if you haven't practiced because it's unnatural and there's a lot of learning that needs to take place in this process. And I want to make something very clear. All right, a lot of guys put their self-esteem, they put their confidence on the line with this one little teeny itsy bitsy teeny weeny, it's just a little part of the game, all right, of a man's skills. It's just so small, but they put all their self-esteem and their ego and their confidence on being able to walk up to a woman. Now, I'm going to talk about a few things that most guys, you probably never heard before, okay, but I've really analyzed this over the years, and I really have a good understanding about what some of the secondary gains could mean that why you're not doing it, but we're also going to talk into why you should be able to do it because it is an important process. Now, I'm telling you, in my entire life, because I've followed my principles, have only had to do a walk up to a girl that I was like, whoa, like, just if I'm going to walk up to someone, I have to like look and be like, wow, like this chick is amazing. Like, wow, she's like triggering all my visual senses and I'm going to go check it out. And the two, that's it, two. All right, and I'll tell you why in just a moment. But in the entire two times, I just instantly went boom. And matter of fact, it was a couple friends that were like, you can't do that. I go, just watch this. And both times I went right up there and got a relationship with them. And it was cool. It worked very well for me. I had that skill and I used it. And knockouts. But here's the thing I want you guys to understand, all right? It's a very fly-by-chance way of getting a person who is probably going to fit with your own criteria of what you want the world to be. Now, I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the reasons why I think it's important not to put your entire self-esteem or your confidence on this. Like, oh, I don't have any confidence. I don't have any self-esteem because I can't even walk up because I'm afraid of rejection. Here's the first level, okay? Now, I figured this out many years ago, but here's one of the big things, all right? Now, the reason why I've only gone up to like two girls like that because I have an idea of what I really like, and it has to really stand out. And why is it like this? Well, it's like this because of the fact that I've always had in my life many women, okay, because I followed my principles that I teach, all right? I've always had women around me, and I've always had enough around because I just enjoy it, and I have plenty of women friends around me. So these are women that are in my life that I that I like, that I have things in common with, and all these things. So one of the reasons was sometimes like I'll see a girl, I'm just not into it. Even when I did that insider's walk up where they tested my skill, and I did what I did and did pretty well on spot with camera on me, okay? But here's the reason why. In my life, okay, the way my principles set up, okay, I have an abundance of people, women in my life, okay, and I like it. I always have, and not always, I should say, after I really learned and did the work, okay, I got to that place. So in my life, I'm pretty much filled to the rim with trim. Just joking. I know the feminists are going to hate that one. But that's the way it is. Why? Because I know what I like. I have personalities that I get along with, and they're good people. And so when I'm out there and I'm looking, a lot of times I talk myself out of it. And it's an unconscious thing, but it's a conscious understanding of why I do it. It's because I already know my plate is filled, all right? Like my plate's filled. Like in all reality, I know I got a lot of stuff going on in my life. Okay, I got businesses. Okay, I got other works. Okay, I got people in my life. I got creative ventures that I'm doing. If I go over there, do I really need to add another person to my life? Like, where do I have this room to space them in? So a part of me sometimes just goes, nah, it's not a big thing. So if you have important stuff going on, and you should, like, your mission comes first, your purpose comes first. If you are distracting yourself because you think that you need a woman in your life and you haven't handled your man shit, then you know what? You might want to distract yourself a little bit. And this is what your unconscious mind may be doing in those situations. It's going, dude, you haven't even taken care of yourself yet. You haven't even got your own purpose or your own vision down. You're not even doing the shit that you're supposed to. What the hell are you going to go over there and bring another person in your life and probably fuck her life up because your shit ain't together? Okay, that's just one level. This is a theory of mine. I'm not saying it's there, but it is a theory. So you don't have to base your entire confidence in your self-esteem and your ego on this, all right? The next thing about like walk-ups and stuff like this is it's really kind of unrealistic to think that you're just going to go out there and everything's going to click. It's completely unrealistic. First of all, it's messy. Okay, it is not targeted, it's not specialized. The chance of getting a person who's going to fit perfectly of who you are and what your personality is very, very slim. So if you're going to do it, you better build up your rejection resilience pretty quickly, because most likely you're not going to make a match, because you got people that are married, you got people that are lesbian, you got all kinds of people, bad moods. Okay, they're rushing around. We've talked about this before, so I'm not going to get into it. So if you're thinking that, like, oh, if you can't walk up to a girl and get successful on the point, you're a failure, a loser, you have low self-esteem, cut that bullshit out, because there's plenty of other ways, much smarter ways to do this. Now, one of the things is one of the smarter ways is basically surround yourself with people that you already know. Most of the connections that take place are within social circles of people that know people that know people that know people, and that's where you really get to know people. Now, you're already saying that you're pretty good when it comes to that, so understand this. Now, walking up to a person on the street, all right, no one's just going to trust you, so they're going to have their shields up. They're going to have all kinds of things that are going, okay, what is this person about? So if you're walking to someone up on the street and you're making a point, you might want to make it quick, because people, especially women, are busy and you're interrupting them in their day, and probably they don't want to sit here and hang out with you. So a good 30 to 1 minute script could be very good. Like, hey, you know what? I don't normally do this, but I saw you and I just want to come up. I'm the type of guy that wants to meet people that seem like they're attractive. Here's my card. If you want to go out and have a good time, I would love to take you out. I guarantee you're going to have a great time. So that's all I'm going to say. I'm going to let you go on throughout your day. Enjoy yourself, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm speeding it up there, okay? But the point is, don't expect to sit there and get a success rate story. It's like cold calling. And if you're doing it like that, then you better get good at it. You better be walking to people all the time, because it is a muscle and you do have to constantly warm it up, as far as the people that I've seen that do it a lot. To me, I just kind of look at them and go, why are you walking up to, are you attracted to that person? No, but I go, you just got to walk up to her, because I don't really have any standards, so I'm just going to go hit everyone. Okay, that's like baby shit, man. Like, you should know exactly what you're looking for, the type of person and stuff like this. Like, it's like a shot in the dark, okay, when you're doing this. So here, let me go down a couple things that I'm talking about here. It's a crapshoot, really. And when I said, have a direction in mind, quick in and out, just, make the contact, find out what she's about, and don't sit there and waste her time, okay? In and out. Some guys will tell you differently, but this is all my own personal thing. And the backing with my theory is that you are much more active in social groups with other people. So this is just kind of an extra. It's the icing on the cake. If you see someone, you can do that. But do not rely on this method for all of your results with women or your intimacies that you're looking for, okay? And listen, nobody at first, if you're going to get it to prove your ego that you can do it, fine, okay? Mark Cuban, he even had to teach himself how to cold call people on the phone, not even in person. He had to teach himself. So you're going to have to teach yourself. You're going to have to really boost your rejection resistance, and then put a little resilience in there on top with a cherry. Make it taste a little bit better for your palette of possibilities in your life, or pleasurable experiences. Now, I'm a person who likes to break things down and just figure out, okay, like, I want the solutions, and I want to figure out where's the threshold in the psychic way that you're thinking about this. So my wondering is, okay, well, maybe you're afraid to go up to her one-on-one. Can you do it with a friend? Can you do it with two girls? Can you just walk up and say, hey, come with me, and say, hey, I'd like to introduce you. This is my friends and stuff like this. Can you do that? Because then you start figuring out, where the fine tuning is with this thing, okay? So you might want to play around with a couple different options in order to really test this theory out. But what I consider the most important thing is you have to learn from this process, okay? If you're not sitting down and this is how weird I've gotten, but it's not maybe it's not so weird, but it's something that I have to go into and I have to try on for size if I'm going to teach it to different guys. Now, visualization is an important process about being able to foresee yourself successful in those situations. And what I like to do is I like to add on different aspects of it. So, what I'll do is I'll visualize myself, in a situation, with her responding horribly and me being able to just go through the process and be cool about it. See if I can do it. See if I can mentally create resistance and override that resistance with my demeanor. If I can do that, great. Another thing I like to do to add a little bit more variation and creativity to it is maybe I'll do one with some hip hop beats in the background, like boom, I don't even know if that's hip hop or whatever. But then I can kind of see myself with that groove kind of going through, talking, walking up there. Maybe some hard rock. You're walking up kind of intense. See if you can do it. So have a plethora. Then you can do it with a little bit of classical music. The more you can see yourself being successful from multiple different genres of music and tempos and things like this, the better you're going to get at it and the more prepared you're going to be mentally. And that's an important aspect of it. So, if you can do that, great. That's a great way to do things. And another important aspect of it, and I didn't even realize this. I wonder how I could use a patch. That looks scary. There you go. God, I don't even know if that screwed up my recording or not, but hey, we're moving on. The next important thing is to realize is it doesn't really matter in the big picture, man. Like, I remember I asked this girl, very attractive, and I said, look, I'm not a girl, so people don't usually come up to me, okay? They're usually terrified of me and stay away from me. I said, but when guys come up to you, like, how fast does it take for you to forget them? And she's like, what do you mean? I said, well, how fast does it take for you to forget that the person exists? She goes, what person? And I'm like, the person that you're talking about, the person that came up to you. And he goes, no, that's how fast. It was like, what person? That's what she said. Like, it's instant. So no matter what you do, if you screw up, she's gone. It happens so often, you're done. Forget about it. So the only person that gets to deal with it is you. And like I said, the biggest thing is about learning about this. You're learning about all kinds of different things when you walk up. So instead of meeting her just to get a number or a name or something like that, use it as a learning tool for you to get better. Okay, you're increasing your neurosynapses to go after things that may seem unpleasant at first. You're overriding that. You're going after things that you want. You're building resilience. You're building inoculation against maybe some of her excuses so that you can fire back with something quickly and easily. So you're going to get better and better and better at it. And like I said, it's such a small little minuscule piece of the big picture that for you to like be worried about this is more about ego. Okay, is this about ego or is this about results? All right, and you have to be like, if you don't know what to say, okay, a lot of times you can listen, but a lot of times is when people say they don't know what to say, to me it means that they're not calibrated on the person. They're not paying attention to what's going on. Like last night, okay, I was working in the club. Beautiful Asian. She's probably the most beautiful physically looking Asian in the place. And I was looking at her, and this is how tuned my eye skills are, my calibration of people. Like, I can see when people's eyes dilate through practice and NLP and hypnosis and all that. I can usually look and find out what their pulse rate is. Like, if I look at their hand, I can see their pulse going ding, ding. So sometimes I know how to talk to this. But I was looking at her and I said, hey, you got scoliosis, don't you? And she was like, how did you know that? Well, because I can tell that your right hip is slightly higher than your other one. She goes, oh my God, nobody knows that. She goes, all the time, my back hurts. And I'm all, yeah, it's just, she goes, how'd you know? I go, because I'm paying attention. Okay. When you're paying attention to people, there's things that you can talk about. There's things when people like they're blinking their eye blink. Okay. You could mention something like that. You can notice when they're breathing out of their upper chest, their lower chest, or their torso. There's a lot of different things you can notice, but you have to pay attention. You have to be present. Where most guys, you're not present. You're in your head going, what should I say? Oh my God, is she going to like me? Oh, here comes the big rejection. But when you pay attention to her, you focus so much on her that you absolutely forget about yourself. There is a whole world, a plethora of things to look at, to talk about being in the zone. Okay, it's not a conversation. You're co-creating with the person in reality, in the moment. So you should be able to be on top of that and ride the lightning wherever it goes. Okay, you're riding the storm. You're in the storm with her. You're co-creating with the universe at the time. All right, don't stick to some of these like little canned things or just be some trite conversation. Be wild, have some balls, have some chutzpah, all right? Make an impact. Just remember, okay, it's a rare moment that you're co-creating within the moment with that person. Don't let it be some trite conversation. Make an impact if you're interested. Have fun with it, because you know what? That's someone that you may attract into your life, and they're either going to be with you or they're going to forget about you. So I hope this helped give a little bit more information. Like I said, it's not the total subject, but it's a piece of my own perspective on it, and hopefully it sheds a little light into your ability to go up, kick ass, meet people anywhere, anytime you want, but ultimately live the lifestyle you want, because you're choosing to live it the way you want to live it. With that, Hypnotica out.